Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking this or that peptides. Now, you know I absolutely love peptides, but what do I always say? Not all peptides are created equal. You really need to know the function of the peptide that is in the product in order to determine if it's the right peptide for you. And that's really what today's this or that episode is all about. I've got peptide battles between peptide moisturizers. I've got well-aging peptide serums. Plus, stay tuned for a copper peptide showdown. If you are so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right in. Our first peptide battle is between Stratia Interface versus Cerave Skin Renewing Night Cream. Now, these are both moisturizers that are utilizing peptides for well-aging benefits. They claim to stimulate collagen and help to firm and renew the skin. So let's dive into Stratia first. So there are 4 total peptides in this moisturizer, and they're working in synergy together. So the first pair of peptides that I want to talk about is palmitoyl heptapeptide 27 and palmitoyl oligopeptide 78. Now, oligopeptide 78 actually helps to create more keratin in the skin, which is really kind of one of the backbones of the skin barrier. It really helps to create healthy, strong, resilient skin. Now, when it is in combination with heptapeptide 27, that's a fun one to say. When these two are in combination, they actually help each other work better together, and it results in stronger, more resilient skin, and it also helps to fight dehydration within the skin. Now, the other 2 peptides in here are also working in synergy, and they go by a trade name, which is X50 Anti-Aging Powder. Now, these actually work together to stimulate collagen production on the skin, and this duo has been designed to really help intelligently target the skin, helping to replace collagen, fighting fine lines and wrinkles. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but there was a study done by the manufacturer of X50 anti-aging powder, and within the study, very small study of subjects, they found that 67% of the subjects had seen an increase in skin elasticity and a reduction in wrinkles. So the texture here is really nice. This is quite a silky type of cream that feels quite plumping and hydrating on the skin, a good amount of moisture, not a ton of occlusivity here, but it definitely has this hydration element, this plumping element to it that feels really nice. I didn't detect any shininess or greasiness on application with this. It has a really nice absorbency, moisturizing inside of the skin, not on top, and it definitely has a good amount of moisture for looking like a slightly thinner kind of medium weight cream. It does pack a nice moisturization punch. Next, let's talk about the Cerave cream. We've got 2 peptides in here. The first one goes by a trade name Chronoline. Now, this actually copies growth factors in the skin, and it helps with key skin proteins like collagen, laminin, and fibronectin. And these are really important proteins that help to fight fine lines and wrinkles, the signs of aging on the skin, and the things that can destroy the protein structure of our skin, which makes us a lot more vulnerable to the creation of fine lines and wrinkles. And then the other peptide that they're using is tripeptide 1. Now, this is a signaling peptide, meaning that it signals to your cells, communicates to them to create more collagen. The texture here is very different. It's almost like a thicker ointment balm-like texture. You can see this is definitely a very stiff type of texture, but as you get this onto your skin, it actually feels really silky, so smooth. It absorbs really nicely into the skin. For being like a lighter layer, it definitely does pack a lot of moisture. It just doesn't sit heavily on the skin. It does have a good amount of occlusivity. It really helps to hug all your skincare in. And there's this really beautiful matte finish to it. So this or that. And I have a really hard time with this because I actually do deeply enjoy both of these products. But I think just on ingredients alone, I'm going to say Stratia edges ahead. Not that the peptides in Cerave are bad by any means. Like I said, tripeptide 1 is a very proven, reliable peptide for collagen stimulation. I'm just really intrigued by the mix of peptides in here. I think they're a little bit more complex, and I like that they're targeting more than just collagen stimulation or just helping with elasticity. I like that there's the barrier component in there. This is something we just don't think about a lot as we do age, but your barrier definitely, like I'm always saying, it's the root of all healthy skin. If your skin's not healthy, it's going to be really difficult for you to work on your well-aging goals. So I love that that's built into here. And quite honestly, the texture here, although for my personal skin, I really want this to have just a little bit more occlusivity. That's me being picky, and that's a personal thing. But generally between the two, the texture here I think is a little bit more pleasing. It's a little bit more plumping. There's more hydration. My skin side by side, you know, putting both of these creams together, my skin with the Stratia feels a lot more plump. It feels a lot more replenished. It feels really bouncy and good, where with Cerave, it feels moisturized, but I'm missing that plumping, replenished element, that bouncy skin element. Next up is the battle between the well-aging peptide serums. This is the Purito Centella Unscented Serum versus the DeBAHA MA Peptide Serum. So let's start off with DeBAHA. This is using 3 different peptides. 2 of them are part of a peptide duo that goes by the trade name Matrixyl 3000, which you may be familiar with. It's actually a very famous peptide duo, and it's definitely one that has proven itself over time. So these 2 peptides actually work in synergy together to help stimulate collagen production on the skin. Matrixyl 3000 has demonstrated its abilities to help improve the depth and look of fine lines and wrinkles on the skin, to help with the roughness of skin. It also helps with skin tone and clarity. It overall just has this really nice rejuvenating effect on the skin. Now, DeBAHA has taken that peptide duo Matrixyl 3000 and they have paired it alongside of arginine, which is acetylhexapeptide 8. No stranger to this channel. I've been talking about this peptide for many, many years. Acetylhexapeptide 8, this is known as one of the Botox peptides. There's actually quite a few peptides that fall under this marketing term, Botox peptide, but it's because these peptides help to target the expression lines and the muscle movement on your face. So if you get, if you're noticing like fine lines or wrinkles around like the forehead, because you make a lot of expressions, you smile, you laugh, you are a human being, right? This can kind of help with those muscle movements, and it can help to reduce the appearance of those types of expression lines on the face. But it is not a collagen stimulating peptide, and this is really important to remember in your journey with peptides, especially if you're targeting well aging. Collagen stimulation is going to make those meaningful changes in the protein structure, right, of your skin, where targeting the facial movements more of a secondary or a complementary benefit. Now the texture here is pretty classic DeBAHA. This brand honestly reminds me of like the Korean The Ordinary. This is a brand that is focused on delivering ingredients, really delivering smart formulations to you at a very affordable price, at the cost of things like packaging, marketing, and maybe even sometimes textural experiences. And that's how I feel about this product. It is a very straightforward gel-based serum. It is hydrating. There is a humectant element to this. It is a little bit tacky as it absorbs into the skin. It's not the most elegant serum out there, but it's also not the least elegant serum out there either. It's not really problematic, but it just doesn't really wow me. Next, let's move on to Purito. The reason I wanted to do this or that between these 2 products is the peptide mix here is very similar. 3 peptides in Purito, 2 of which are Matrixyl 3000. The other peptide in here is a little bit newer, a little bit more cutting edge, maybe, if you will, and a little less known. This is a peptide that goes by the trade name Biopeptide EL. It's palmitoyl hexapeptide 12. Now, this is, like I said, slightly newer peptide, but it really targets in on skin firmness and skin elasticity, which to me makes it a really nice complement to Matrixyl 3000, which really focuses on that collagen stimulation. And then the Biopeptide EL really helps to lift and firm the skin and really complement Matrixyl's benefits in that area as well. With DeBAHA, we have a very minimal formulation. Again, just focus on delivering those ingredients into the skin. Purito has a slightly different point of view when it comes to their skincare formulation. So I really do need to mention the other ingredients in here that create this formula, including Centella, ceramide NP, and niacinamide. And these are really focused on soothing the skin and strengthening the skin barrier. If you've caught any of my videos talking about the best hydrating serums or the most hydrating products for your skin, you probably have heard me talk about this product in that context before, because it is really one of the most hydrating serums that I have tried. It feels really nice on the skin. I have dehydrated skin, so I'm always craving that hydration. This really delivers. It gives you very juicy, plump skin. We've got this nice loose gel texture with really nice absorbency into the skin. There's a good amount of Centella in here, so if your skin is inflamed or irritated, it does have a really gentle, calming, soothing effect to the skin. So this or that, and I think I've kind of already given it away that I prefer Purito. And it's not just the texture alone, but I think you know me well enough by now to know that I really admire formulations that are multi-layered, that try to do more than just one thing. And what I really like about this is we've got the Matrixyl 3000 in here. We have the biopeptide in here working on skin firmness and elasticity. But then we've got, like Stratia, with the barrier supportive ingredients. We have some healthy amount of niacinamide in here. We have ceramide NP, Centella for calming and soothing the skin. And again, like I said, one of those things that we tend to ignore on our well-aging journey is that skin barrier. Some of us need more help than others, but as we get older, some of those main components of our skin barrier that our body naturally produces, our body's just less efficient over time. And so we are more prone to compromise skin barriers. So when it comes to well-aging, I think there's a little bit more to offer with the serum beyond just the peptides. The peptide mix is strong. It is proven. It will give you really nice benefits. I just like the overall package of Purito slightly better. But all that to be said is Matrixyl 3000 is a really proven peptide duo. And some people don't need the niacinamide and the calming and the barrier repair. And so they just want to target in on the peptides. So if that's you, don't count this serum out just because I'm personally saying I like Purito a little bit better. If you are somebody who likes just like really targeted, no nonsense skincare, the other stuff I've talked about doesn't really matter to you, this is a really quality, affordable Korean peptide product using really proven ingredients that will give you nice results. Next up is our copper peptide battle. This is Niod Copper Amino Isolate Serum versus the ordinary Buffet Plus Copper Peptides 1%. So let's start off with Niod first. And if you're really interested in the brand Niod, I recently, just a few weeks ago, I did my top 5 Niod products. I would definitely suggest checking that video out after this one if you want to do an ingredient deep dive into this brand. But let's start at the beginning, right? This is a copper peptide battle. We do have 1% of copper tripeptide 1, and this stimulates healthy collagen production on the skin. It is probably the best well-aging peptide out there. Best meaning it has been studied for a really long time and has proven its benefits. It is just one of those peptides we know a lot about. 1% is a really good amount, and in fact it is part of the driving force behind the cost of this product. This is for the 30 milliliter bottle. It is about $90. It is a lot of money, but this is a very expensive ingredient and they're using a high quantity of it. Not only are they using 1% of copper tripeptide 1, they're using 1% of tripeptide 1. Now we already talked about tripeptide 1 earlier in the Cerave skin renewing cream. Tripeptide 1 helps to stimulate collagen on the skin. So it is a great signaling peptide. So it signals to your cells to create more of those proteins, but it's also considered a carrier peptide, specifically in the context of copper peptide. So tripeptide 1 on its own is great. In combination with copper tripeptide, it actually helps the copper dive deeper into the skin so it can get down into the dermis and do what it needs to do and help with that collagen stimulation. But we also have some other peptides in here that are really helping to support this well-aging story that we're getting with this serum, right? We have tripeptide 29. This is interesting because it is a peptide that signals to your skin that collagen has been damaged or lost. And when your body thinks that collagen has been lost, it will ramp up its own production of healthy collagen. So this is another really interesting peptide that can stimulate some more collagen production in the body. Then we also have a peptide that goes by the trade name progrelin, and this helps to increase skin firmness and elasticity. We have retinopeptide 189. This is also known as the retinal peptide, and it has retinal-like benefits. It stimulates collagen. It helps to rejuvenate the skin by increasing skin cell turnover, revealing more youthful, refreshed skin. And the last peptide is acetyl tetrapeptide 2. It is also known as the youth hormone peptide, and really it is a peptide that you can expect more skin rejuvenation, just a more youthful appearance, a little bit of a brighter, healthier look to the skin. Now the texture here is just like pure water. There's not like a plumping factor, there's not a hydration factor to it, there's definitely not moisture or emolliency or richness. This feels like water on the skin. It is a very loose serum. Next, let's move on to the Ordinary Buffet Plus Copper Peptides 1%. Now you know that the Ordinary and Niod are under the same brand family, Decium, and the Ordinary is absolutely seen as the more affordable brand compared to Niod, and that's absolutely what we're getting with this serum here. This retails about $30, which for the Ordinary is very expensive, but in comparison to Niod, it is $60 less. So we're definitely looking at a budget pick here for sure. But then the main ingredient here, 1% of copper tripeptide, is the same. It is the exact same ingredient. It is the exact same percentage. And like I had mentioned earlier, this is the driving force behind the cost of both of these products. It is an expensive percentage, but it is not combined with the 1% of tripeptide 1. So that is part of the reason why this serum, while being more expensive for the Ordinary, is a lot less than Niod. The peptides that they're using here too, the mix is definitely interesting, but we are using more familiar, if you want to say even older, or maybe you want to say more proven peptides, where Niod was definitely experimenting with some newer cutting edge peptides. But we do have some familiar favorites in here like arginine acetylhexapeptide 8. Remember, that's the Botox peptide that targets expression lines on the face. This is actually a really nice pair for the other peptide in here, which is pentapeptide 18. Now, this is a kind of, think of it like a newer version of acetylhexapeptide 8. It targets the exact same thing. So we're kind of doubling up on the benefits here with these two peptides. Then we have Matrixyl 3000. Again, a familiar favorite from this video, something that's really helping to support that well-aging story that this peptide serum is trying to tell here. Now, we also are using a newer version of Matrixyl, which is Matrixyl Synth 6. So this has similar benefits, but we're looking at that newer generation. So it really helps with collagen stimulation, but it also helps with some of those essential proteins that we already talked about, like elastin, fibronectin, hyaluronic acid, and laminin. And it actually has demonstrated in studies, again, from the manufacturer, so take it with a grain of salt, but it has demonstrated a really good ability to especially target the expression lines, like especially like on the forehead from like raising your eyebrows and stuff. So it has some really promising results in studies. But that's not all. There's even more peptides in here. We have Syn-Aki, which is another Botox peptide that is helping to target the expression lines on the face. And the last peptide is Release-Stase. Now, this actually helps to target sagging skin that is losing its firmness. It actually inhibits the enzyme that damages skin elasticity and firmness over time. So this is a really interesting mix of peptides, and it's not just about copper peptide alone. Now, the texture here is got a little bit more hydration to it, a little bit more plumpness to it than Niod. Not a ton, but a little bit more. We've got that signature blue color. That's the copper peptides in the serum, with a little bit of a gel-like consistency, a little bit more humectant content here. Now, I forgot to mention, in addition to all those peptides, there's a lot of amino acids in here too. Now, amino acids are not direct humectants, but they do help your skin over time hold on to more hydration because they're very barrier supportive. So that, I think, is something that is a really nice benefit and in addition to this product that Niod doesn't have. So this or that. Now that I've broken down all of the peptides in both of these products, while the peptides mix are different, they are achieving really similar results. Both are using some really nice, well-proven and some novel ingredients, but I think when we really deep dive the ingredients, you can see that the formulators here have really deeply thought about the pairing. They're not just throwing in all the peptides that they can find, they're thinking about peptides that complement each other and help to target the most common signs of aging on the skin. So take like the idea that $90 must somehow deliver more value to you. Take that out of the equation and just really think about what budget do you really want to be working with. And I've used both of these products. I like the results that I get with both of these products, and sometimes I can't afford Niod. so that's when I'm going to reach for the Ordinary, which is so much more budget friendly. So this or that, I mean, honestly, who doesn't like saving money? I'm going to say the Ordinary wins out definitely on price. But maybe you're just really into peptides, maybe just really into ingredients. You get really excited about trying new things you've never tried before. That's where I think Niod really excels in the formulation. Not that the formulation is smarter than the Ordinary by any means, but it's definitely using more cutting edge, new, novel peptides that you're probably not finding in other products right now. And that's really what Niod as a brand is all about. It really is about kind of taking those chances, trying out those new things, even if that means driving up the price of the product a little bit, right? This is definitely a interesting mix of new things. And I have to say, the main ingredient here between the two products, we know that it's the exact same thing, but some of the supportive peptides in here really do give you a nice benefit on the skin. I love this product. It was part of my top 5 Niod video that I did just a couple of weeks ago because the results are outstanding. And I do think a lot of it comes from some of those newer peptides. The benefits are really, really, really nice. So if you like new and novel formulations, Niod's absolutely going to be delivering that for you. I honestly think this has been one of my favorite this or that episodes that I've done in a really long time. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'm curious to know, what do you want to see on the next episode? Certain ingredients I should focus in on, or certain product battles? Let me know in the comments below. Now, please do all the things before you go. If you're not subscribed, please hit subscribe, especially if this video was helpful or informative for you. I do release a lot of new skincare content throughout the week, just like this video. I do long form and short content, so please consider turning on notifications. Like the video, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already, leave me the comment, follow me on social, do all the things, please. It is just, I am so honored to have such an amazing supportive community, and you know how much even just hitting the like button or just watching the video, you know how helpful that is and how grateful I am to you for it. All right, I will see you in the next video. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.